I have that little top fans thing. One last ditch effort to try and fix this leak. No, I didn't. I'm still saving up for the giveaway. So there is a mild chance, very, very small chance, that I might snap the blade today. Yep, unfortunately, I don't think that there's any way to fix this one. I'm going to go grab a lighter, and we're going to try fire. It is, in fact, a leak. What's up, Willie? How's it going? This is gonna suck. We do have water. Fire. Now we can finally see what's wrong with it. Tell you what, guys. Never tried using fire on stuff, so we'll try that more often. No, it didn't take very long either. You got everything, don't you? Look at me, I have all the problems. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with this one, but we're about to find out. Because the spring didn't work. Bam! Snapped in half. It's the first time I've ever seen that happen in person. Wow. Full on broken half. Wow. Yeah, I'm impressed. It's weird to see that. Of all the leaks I've taken apart, I would expect that that would be a weak point. Yeah, that section. And you said you can get the springs for free. I think, well, let's see. There's no rust inside the crack. So it's a heat treat problem. Yeah, you can get the springs for free, and I'll show you how to get them too. Give me a sec. So you're going to go on your phone. Axilla, what's up? You're going to go onto Google. And what you're going to look up. Awesome. You're going to look up Kershaw parts request. Parts request. Okay, you're going to click on the first link right here. Brings you to this where it says warranty and service. Scroll all the way down to the very, very bottom. And slowly scroll up until you see the thing that says parts request form. Tap on that. Fill in all your shipping info. Tell them the model number, what part you need, and a description of what happened, and then submit form. And they will send you if you're in the US, they will send you a free spring or whatever broke on your leak. I do it all the time. I think they hate me now. I can't verify that though, but I order parts from them all the time. It's the only reason why Kershaw is still a reasonable company to me. Now I need, how you doing, DNG? I don't know what DNG stands for. I figured the rest of it is Slayer though. So what's up? Oh, come on. I need my flat blade. Where did I put that? Oh, hidden behind other stuff. Well, nice to meet you. How you doing? Look at all that crap. Bit of rust. A whole lot of lint. That's actually I've never seen a leek this dirty before. Ever. That's disgusting. Nope. Q-tips and isopropyl alcohol. Anybody want to taste? I don't. It looks like mold, but black. Not black mold. Black mold looks different, but I don't even know how else to explain that. So that's why I get my all my bits, or most of my bits, are from Harbor Freight. The set that I get is this one. It's like $10 now, but when I first bought it, it was $8. It's got a lifetime warranty on all the parts, so if you ever break one, you bring it back in and they'll replace it for you. Yep, always happy to help. I try to be. There's a lot of turds out there, I don't need to add to it. So this is going to be a shorter stream than my usual ones. My usual ones are like 3 to 7 hours. This one's going to be like a half hour, hopefully. So I already pre-ordered all the parts for this knife, so I have a spring here. I didn't need... Like, I knew that something was wrong, but I kind of figured the person before me kind of just took it apart and took the spring out. I've never seen one with a broken spring, so that would be a first. There is a little bit of rust in here, but we're going to take care of that. Oh, this is gross. And I go through a lot of Q-tips because they're cheap. So let's get all the parts off of the mat. Dump the mat off real quick, and then we'll continue because... Ew. And I'm keeping that snap spring. It's the first time I've ever seen that happen before. Now for this, we're going to put the screws. Yep, cleaning up, and then we're going to continue fixing this thing. Now I may have to, I don't want to jinx it, but I may have to unfortunately leave randomly because my neighbor is supposed to be doing fixing a leak on our water heater here in a bit. So let's go ahead and wipe this off over in the trash can real quick, and then we will continue. I'll show you shortly. I take them apart and put them back together on stream, so I don't just take them apart and then you guys have to wonder how to fix them. Let's see here. Okay. And if you want, instead of watching the stream, which I'd much prefer that you do, I have a video on how to do maintenance on a Kershaw leak. If you'd rather just watch that, I think it's like 15 minutes or something, where I fully disassemble the knife and then clean it, lube it, and then put it back together. So broken spring, pivot screw, pocket clip, and both screws, back spacer, blade. Oh my god, Tontos are such a nightmare to sharpen. The only reason I hate Tontos is because of how hard they are to sharpen. Absolutely everything else about them is fine. But every time I try to sharpen them, it takes forever. So all the ones that I've got aren't or weren't straight lines. They had a slight curve to them. And trying to follow a slight curve is not fun. And again, this is only a problem I have with Tontos. Everything else that I have with a slight curve, perfectly fine. Okay, so that is clean. Absolutely nasty in here. It's weird, usually the leeks that I get used aren't in terrible condition. And the blade on this thing's fine. It was just a snap spring, and I guarantee you once that thing happened, they decided I don't want this anymore. Usually what happens is the knife gets dull. Nobody wants to learn how to sharpen it, so they donate it to some donation place and then it gets sold. Or they lose it to TSA. Solid recommendation, don't bring your knives to the airport. Because unless you're not lazy and you decide that you do want to ship it home, take the time and ship it home, they will take it and they will auction it off. Ooh, that is nice and clean. Normally that large washer is pretty dirty. That's nice. On both sides it's clean. No, that is solid. Beautiful. We will obviously be reusing that one. Now, on the other side, on the other hand, we may be replacing this one if I have a spare that's in better condition than that. You know how embarrassing it is to lose your knife to somebody from Disneyland? I'll be honest, I didn't know that they didn't allow knives at Disneyland. It doesn't surprise me, but I didn't know that. We finally got the Kershaw leek apart, the one that I've been struggling with the past few weeks. And the spring did snap. It's in two pieces right up here. It's the first time I've seen that happen in person. And by seeing it happen, I mean seeing a broken one. And something to keep in mind is I own 11 leeks. And I've done work on 50. No, it doesn't need the spring, but I already have a spare spring, so I have two actually. So it's not going to be a problem replacing it. It's also the dirtiest leek I've ever received. Okay. Oh, and I popped that out. Ew. White Loctite. That's how you know it's old. Yep, a circular pivot. The biggest pain in the butt with this knife. I used fire to get it apart. Let's use the blade real quick and just get the stuff out of that hole. Now we will start with the Q-tips again. Q-tips and isopropyl alcohol, 70%. You don't need to ball out and get the cheap shit. Just my neighbor calling my work because I park in front of her house. Can you park in front of your own house? So here's the problem with people like that is it will start off with them calling your work or something like that. And eventually what will happen is they will start doing stuff to your vehicle. Just never give them the idea to start touching your stuff. Well, that's not great. Well, I didn't know this one didn't have a captive pivot. Most leaks do. Out of the 11 I own, 2 don't. Okay. Now that we got that all cleaned up, we're going to replace A captive pivot is a pivot where when you unscrew the pivot, it, like this part doesn't screw with the screw. So like this one right here, you can see how it's a hexagon. It won't spin when you try and loosen it. This one's a circle, and all it does is sit there and spin. Ew. Whatever that was. Get in there. Time to bring the hammer back out. Why does my hammer have to be under everything? I swear I need to organize better. That does not feel good. So we have a tool for this. Beautiful. See, sometimes all it takes is a tiny hammer. If you want a tiny hammer, you can find them at Walmart. I don't like Walmart, but sometimes they give you a good deal on stuff, and I can't complain too much. Okay, so now we get the spare parts. Right here, we need, if this is a new spring, we need the new spring. The worst cut I got was from a Gerber diesel. And when I showed up at the hospital, they said you should be dead. I got a really gnarly cut right here. Started up here, ended down here. Really nasty stuff. Anyway, the thing that we're removing right now is the tip retention lock, because it broke. And most of these are broken. If you ever buy a used leek, this is likely broken. And this is what it's supposed to look like. So you're supposed to have a little square with a thing hanging off of it. This prevents the blade from opening when you don't want it to by sitting in the way so that it won't open. Well, what people do is they break them off because they don't remember that it's there, and they just keep pushing until it breaks. Highly recommend not doing that. It's kind of annoying to replace. It's not a big deal, but it's just mildly annoying. Where is tweezers? Tiny piece. Other even tinier piece. There's a little bit of plastic, the black plastic from it hanging off of there that I'm trying to get off before I put it back together. It's not a huge deal. What, did you leave a knife open in your bed or something? I've done that before. Yep, we're replacing that too. It's a lock washer. So I've carried hundreds of knives over the last few years. And by hundreds, I mean like at least 120. And I've found what I like. The only reason I have so many leaks is because they are so easy to work on. This is the easiest, most user-friendly knife to work on by far because of the free parts. It's also made in the US, so at least it's a halfway decent knife. There we go. Is it T6 or T8 that's in there? T6, beautiful. Okay. So as you screw this in, make sure it still moves freely. So I don't normally carry tip down, but on a leek I will because I don't really care. It's never done anything to me. Sounds like you got unlucky, unfortunately. But getting cut is kind of part of owning knives. If you own as many as I do, eventually you're going to get yourself. And it sucks, but it happens. So, spare part. The other spare part we were going to go for was a spare washer, if my spare washers are in better condition. And it looks to me like they are. So, we'll go ahead and pull one of my spare smaller washers and swap this one, which is a little more shiny, out for that one that's a little less. Gimme. Okay, so I keep spare parts all over the place. They're great to have. When you're putting these things back together, it's always nice to have extras of anything that might break or that you might lose. So I have spares of everything except for scales and blades, which they don't send for free. Okay. So now we're going to work on putting the spring back in and all that kind of stuff. First, we're going to get rid of that. Okay. We don't oil this side because we're using grease on this side. Fine. Tweezers. And then the new spring will go in there after we get some grease in there. The grease that I use now, I used to use automotive grease, like racing stuff, and then I moved over to this stuff called Super Lube from Harbor Freight. I think this whole thing was like $10. And I always use too much, but it's to protect things from wear. So so just a sec, I gotta put the cap back on. Okay. Something in here is magnetized. So we wipe it all off right there. And then we spread it around the interior of this whole section. Everything, or every section where the spring moves, you want a little bit of this stuff. Okay, then you wipe up the excess on the sections where the spring doesn't touch. Then we place the spring back in, like this, with the spring sitting all the way out, like that. What's up, Katie? How you doing? Place the plate on top. Okay. Now we're going to pull all these screws out of here. What's up, Rebel08? How you doing? Oh, we forgot to clean this out. That's not a common thing that I need to clean. Appreciate the subscription. You know, we're starting to get into the popular people numbers. Where maybe my opinion starts to matter. I am proud to say that to some people, my opinion means everything about something. And typically I give great insight on products. Okay. Now we put that on there with the spring inside there. And then we put all the screws back in. You beg to differ. If you would take my advice more often instead of deciding to go your own way, things would move a lot smoother. But who am I kidding? We're both YouTubers. Okay. So now we line up this up here with that hole in the blade. Press the sides both together. Make sure that it went into the hole in the blade, because that is a big deal if it doesn't. It won't do anything that you need it to do if it doesn't, and it didn't. So we're gonna clamp. Ooh. How's it going, Katie? Welcome back. So we gotta hammer this back through, unfortunately. Okay, now we're gonna put this on to make it easier. Yeah, the sometimes is the key word there. I've been doing this for how long? I swear I try to give good advice. Ooh. Did I strip that? It still comes loose, so... But I obviously didn't strip it too bad. Do I have a spare of that? I don't. Anyway, we will continue where we left off. We pinch the back spacer so it doesn't move. We line up this spring with the hole in the blade. There. Now that sounded solid. What's up, Mad Yako? How you doing? Haven't seen you in here in a while. I used fire to take this thing apart. It's the first time I've used fire on a knife. And it worked. The distressed look, yeah. It's been used. It came with a broken spring, too. Okay, now how does it work out? That doesn't look right. Oh. That's better. The tip retention lock was open. Oh, that is sweet. Dude, that thing fires like a rocket. Snaps right out. Oh, I wish they all did that. Like this one that has trouble. Or... oh, that one's fine. This one's a little slow. Well, glad to see it works now. Now I can sell it to some lucky viewer or something, I don't know. It depends. People don't always want these things. It's hard to sell. It really is. It's a great knife, but being that it's so hard to take apart, this one specifically, all the rest of them are fine. But that circular pivot is such a pain. Now, is it sharp? I'm not going to complain about that. That's sharp enough. There's a few catches. We'll strop it and it'll be fine. Oh, I sharpened it already. That explains everything. I was honestly going to just sell it to the pawn shop while it was broken. Because they don't tend to care. So we're going to go ahead and clean off the broken spring. And I'm going to keep that because it's the first time I've ever seen that. Yep. Pretty wild. Well, I'm about to spend a decent amount of money on a giveaway, but like, I need somebody to buy something. Or I need to borrow like $4 from somebody. No, wait. $9 from somebody until my next knife sells. Because I'm $9 short. Oh, that's beautiful. Now, where do I put broken shit? I could put all my spares in one thing. Well, it's nice to see I got a lot more people in here than usual. Usually I'm sitting here with around 10, and having triple that is a nice feeling. Makes you feel like you're actually doing something. Okay, so all the spare screws and a spare tip retention lock. We're just going to stick it with the spare springs, other screws, and other washers. Well, most of the time I'm taking stuff apart, and usually I'm sitting here with around 10. Just a little bit ago I had 40, which was really cool to see. It's not very common that I see that. Makes you wonder where people come from. Because I didn't advertise that I was live streaming anywhere this time. So I think this one has a bent pivot. I just want to double check that this thing's real. Now to open this one, we have to do the fun thing of loosening those two screws. Lexi, what's up? Because they're sitting there pressed up against the blade with no pocket clip. Yeah, I would assume that that's probably the way that it goes. Yeah, no, everything looks fine. Cool. So I'll be ordering a new pocket clip for this one, and then it'll be going up for sale. Eagle Scout, it's your chance to buy it if you'd want it. I cleaned it on stream, as you probably saw. It has average wear marks, not horrible. And it could use a new edge. It could really use a new edge. Let's drop it up real quick and see. Oh. You know, it makes me wonder if the Kershaw people know my address by heart at this point. I order so much crap from them. That's not good. Much better. So the tip isn't destroyed. It has an edge, but you can see that it was chipped off at one point. Just the very, very tip of it was chipped off. Yeah, this thing could use a whole new edge. Somebody before me used some shit that they really shouldn't have on this thing. It looks like they took it to a grinder. Scott, what's up? You can see the difference right here. The different grind lines. One right there. And the stock grind line. I don't think it got any sharper after the stropping either. Nope. But you can see a tearing right here along the whole edge of the piece of paper. And with that one that I just did, it doesn't have any issues. A slight catch here, but we could probably fix that with some stropping. I have no clue how to read that, but hi, how you doing? Oh yeah, broken spring. Put the broken spring in the empty bag. We just finished taking this thing apart and cleaning it and fixing it. It had a broken spring. Now it's got a brand new spring. Fires out like a champ. Absolutely wonderful. And I already sharpened it before, but it's catching on the paper right there. And I don't want it doing that. I still felt it catch. Yep, it's a Kershaw leek. I see it. A very, very, very tiny chip. Not worth resharpening over. And there's a second chip somewhere towards... Yeah, they're tiny chips. They're not... It's still sharp. They're not worth re-grinding down the edge just to get rid of them. It's a waste of blade. You're just basically throwing away sharpenings if you do that. There's a couple other knives that I have that are like that, where I'll take out... It'll take like 5 more sharpenings before the chip is gone. I don't need to waste all that. I think this was how dull it was before I sharpened it. Is it did this, and it ripped it all the way across, and then this bottom cut was when I was done. I kept this for a reason. I don't remember why, though. Probably just to show off. We show off a bit. Anyway, guys, we got about 5 more minutes until I end the stream because it's getting hot in here, and I'm still waiting for my neighbor to come over and say, hey, I can fix your the leak on your water heater now. Anyway, Eagle Scout, if you want the orange one, and if you still want the launch one, then tell me. And I can give you a great deal if you buy both. Because why not? Gets you more content. Gets me to sell 2 knives instead of just one. We all win. Oh, what else should we do? Well, we got like 3.5 minutes, so we could just sit here and blabber about nothing for no reason. Start cleaning up the table. Believe it or not, the table was clean like 3 weeks ago. Now it's not, but it was. Right after this, I'll be taking pictures of some knives and then putting them up for sale on Blade Binge. If you would like to find what I have up for sale, I can show you how to do that. I have a QR code. Carco, what's up? How you doing? So this QR code right here leads to my Blade Binge account. If you'd like to screenshot it or something, here in a sec. It leads to my Blade Binge account. You can see all the things that I have up for sale right now. I think I have 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yep, I have 12 knives up for sale right now. I'm about to have, let's see here, one. This one I already took pictures for. Is this one ready to go? It's a little slow, but we might be able to change that here on stream real quick. Loosen the pivot just slightly. So all my leeks, I try to sell them for about $35 a piece. All the base models anyway. Nope. I think I might buy some Loctite and I'll be doing this myself. Because I want them to open like this every time. I think you said you were getting one of those. I just keep buying more and more leeks. It's an issue. It's an issue because nobody buys them from me. And the thing that I think people forget when they're looking at a Kershaw leek for $35 is you're getting it for like 40% off. And it's been fully refurbished by somebody who does this all the time. And you're getting an American made knife for well under $100. Like it's under 50. Brand new, they sell for 65. 35 is an absolute steal. Anyway, guys, we've been streaming for an hour. I do have other things that I would like to do tonight. As much as I do enjoy streaming, I enjoy some other things a little more on weekdays. Weekends, you guys know, I stream all night. Yep, we will see you next time, Carco. Anybody else who's interested, I will be streaming on Friday at roughly 11 or 12. And that would be 2 to 3 hours from now. And I will stream from that until roughly 3 a.m. So for all you people who should have been asleep by then, but won't be, that's where I'll be if you're interested. You can also check me out on Instagram if you want. Should be the same name, KO Knives. And yeah, that'll be it. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I don't have anything else to say, so we'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your night.